Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get ready. We're going to be on the floor, feet shoulder width apart, heels on the floor, tuck those shoulders down, and we're going to start with our tummy taps. 3 fingers, tighten the abs and start poking the belly. We want to make sure that we get that transverse abdominis woken up, awakened, contracted. What happens is when we poke it, the body responds to it because it thinks something is trying to hurt the organ. So the transverse is the lowest, closest to your organ's muscle. And they've done studies where they have little electrodes onto the 4 levels of the abdominals, and the transverse always it contracts and engages a split second before everyone else does in protection of the torso. So we're just taking the advantage of a body hack by training it to react to a danger so that it learns to contract on its own here. We have 3, 2, 1. We're going to bring the hands down to the side. We're going to move to pelvic floor tilts. You're not lifting your butt off the ground, but it might roll a little bit. So, but we're not lifting it. So what we're going to do, you have 3 major muscles. You've got your rectum, your private area, which would be vaginal, testes, and then your urethra. And we're trying to find all 3 of those muscles, squeeze them, and then relax them. So you're going to engage rectum, private area, urethra, hold, and relax. You're going to go rectum, private area, urethra, hold, and relax. 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 2 more to go. Rectum, private area, urethra, hold, and relax. Rectum, private area, urethra, hold, and relax. This pelvic floor and that transverse abdominis is the beginning of what people call the core. So if we can regularly keep the abdominal transverse abdominis engaged and the pelvic floor engaged, we're going to create the beginning of all body stability. And then you're going to put on top of that a few other extra muscles, the spinous erectus, the multifidii, the obliques, the rectus abdominis, right? All those things, and the shoulder blades, and then you'll have more stability. Okay, we're going to go ahead. We're going to move to bridges. So if you've been doing bridges for a while, you're going to grab some weights and put them on your hips. If you are new to bridges and you're just following along, then no weights for you. You're going to first learn how to control your heels and your butt in conjunction with the hip hinge. So you're going to tuck those shoulders again, tighten your pelvic floor that we just worked, push through the heel, and then lift your butt up off the ground in one movement. You're not rounding your back. The vertebrae is staying nice and straight, and then come back down. Tight abs, tight butt, push through the heels, squeeze that butt up the top, really digging those heels to the floor, and then coming back down. And your shoulders are relaxed. We like to hold our stretches longer than 20 seconds because we want transformative stretches, and we can't do that if we just kind of stretch out the capillaries and move along. We have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, feet back on the floor. We're going to put your right leg to the ceiling, and you're going to flex the foot, not point, you're going to flex it, and straighten that leg, nice tight abs. And you're going to visualize your bone of your thigh bone, the femur, and you're going to visualize inside the hip socket, making a clockwise circle. A clockwise circle. Now I have to figure out what time it is. So we're going nice tight abs, clockwise circles. Don't worry about your ankles. Keep it all still. Keep the knee nice and still. Everything's coming from the hip socket. You're tightening your abdominals, and you are holding that pelvic bone nice and still. The other leg is staying nice and still. What we're trying to do is train our obliques and our abdominals, all the abdominal sets. We're trying to lock it into the pelvic bone so the pelvic doesn't move, so it can be nice and stable, so it can move so that the thigh bone, all the muscles can move the thigh bone correctly inside the hip socket without the pelvic tilting around and without the abdominals tilting around. You have 3, 2, 1, come on down. Nice tight abs, gonna bring the left leg up, flex that foot, nice tight abs and clockwise circles, holding that hip right forward of the ceiling, right? We're not tilting it. Our abs are nice and tight, and we're just visualizing that thigh bone in a circle inside that hip socket with the other knee staying perfectly still. This is how we're working our abdominals through resistance and how we're training that hip socket to get stronger by movement. So both of them are getting benefits of this movement pattern. And we are trying to make it as if we had a big glass of water filled to the brim on our belly, that it would not splash around. We have 3, 2, 1, bring that leg down. We're going to put our right ankle on our left knee, right ankle, left knee. If that's all you can do and you're like, wow, man, I'm so tight, I could barely do that, then just hold it there. If that was easy, tighten your abs and then push the knee away from you without moving your spine or hip. If that's easy and you're like, oh, this is easy too, go to the next level, tightening your abs. You're going to interlace both hands behind the thigh of the left leg, straighten it, flex the foot, and just hold the full figure 4. And then you're going to feel a nice tight stretch on the leg you're holding and on the leg that's bent. One is working the hamstring and the other is working inside the glute. And so we're getting 2 for 1. Again, check your shoulders, make sure you're breathing. Yeah, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that down, tighten the abs as you lower the legs, switching legs, left ankle, right knee, and then you're going to bring up, I'm sorry, if that's all you can do, you're going to hold it there. If that's easy, keeping your abs nice and tight, you're going to push the knee away from you. If that is easy and you're ready for the next level, tighten your abs, interlace the fingers behind your thigh, straighten the leg, flex the foot, and hold the full figure 4. And again, we might find one leg is tighter than the other. So if you need to do level 2 or level 3 on different legs, that's fine also. Do what's safest to your body. I'm not a no pain, no gain person. I just believe in effort and consistency. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg down. And then we're going to bring up the right leg up to the ceiling, and we're going to go counterclockwise circles. So nice tight abs, and we're going counterclockwise. So now we got to picture what the clock looks like and go around it. Again, tightening the abdominals. Don't let the other knee counterbalance you. Visualize if you were watching your skeleton in an x-ray, you want to see that thigh bone rotating in a circle over the hip socket, and the hip socket is the one that's being all rotated, kind of like a pestle mortar thing where they have those cooking things, kind of like that. That's kind of what you're visualizing, or me, that's what I'm visualizing. Keep those abs tight, no rocking that abdominal around. And you still have to breathe too. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg down. Abs still engaged. I'm going to bring up the left leg, flex that foot, straighten it, and counterclockwise circles, counterclockwise circles. And I'm just visualizing if I were watching my leg in an x-ray, if I had x-ray vision, that I would be moving that femur, that's my thigh bone, in my socket here, and keeping everything tight, resisting the desire for my hip and spine to wiggle right now. It wants to wiggle, but my abs are locking it down so that nothing wiggles. My other leg's not counterbalancing, it's not wiggling, everything's staying still. forcing that hip socket to learn how to rotate inside that ball and socket. And just think of all the ligaments, tendons, and nervous system just getting thicker, thicker. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring that down. If you have a strap, we're going to grab a strap here and we're going to put it on your right foot, straighten out that leg, and then you're going to start to pull it up until you feel this nice stretch from your butt all the way to your calf here, never in your Achilles tendon. And you might notice that you're going to go, if your foot's like, look how far my foot goes, but your knee is bent, you're getting hamstring stretch, but everything else isn't getting stretched. We really need the back of everything getting stretched. So if you know that if you have ankle mobility issues, or you have walking issues where you're not able to take wide strides, or you have plantar fasciitis, you really want to make sure that knee is nice and straight. It's not locked out, but it's straight. And if you know you have even lower back issues, this is a great time to get all of those things dealt with by having a straight leg and then pulling it back. And again, we hold these for a long, long time because we rarely get a chance to straighten out our back and have our hip nicely folded with our knee nice and straight. And this is a great way to do it while not injuring your back and your knee. Okay, you're going to tighten your abdominals. You're going to bring the left foot in the strap. Excuse me. And then you're going to remove the right foot. Straighten the leg and pull it back. Again, don't let the knee bend. It's very tempting to bend that knee. Got to straighten it and then pull it back. And it just might mean you don't get to have it as high as you think you should. I even noticed with me lately, my mobility isn't as high as I used to be. So I got to work on that too. Neck is nice and relaxed. Shoulders are pulled away from the neck. And you're still breathing because we need oxygen, even though we're sitting still. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release that tension there. Set that strap to the side. And we're going to move on to ab crunches here. So we're going to actually do ab twists. If at any point you feel like the ab twist is too tenuous for your neck or your back, you feel like that's too risky, you're just going to go straight to a crunch. So we're going to set up the idea right now that if you have osteoporosis and your doctor has already said, hey, be careful of your back and forward movement patterns, then you're going to keep your head on the ground the whole time. You're going to have your hands at your belly, and you're going to push the belly button towards the spine and release. Contract your abs, pushing the belly button to the spine and release. That's all you're going to do. While I'm doing other instructions, you're going to keep doing that. And then the rest, we're going to go ahead and have our hands behind our head, tucking shoulders away from our neck, have it like there's a grapefruit between our chin and our chest. We're going to bring ourselves up to a crunch, and then we're going to use our oblique to turn the rib cage just slightly out, and we're going to come back to the center, bring the head down. We're going to come up to a crunch, and then use the other oblique to twist to the other side, come to the center, and down. We are not twisting the neck at all. It is staying perfectly aligned with my sternum the whole time. I'm not using my neck to lift up. I am using my abdominals to curl my rib cage, and the illusion is that my neck is coming up. If you are realizing, hey, I can't do that, I can't lift my head up off the ground at all, then that's where your abdominal strength is right now. And just hold on to that strength. It'll get stronger, and eventually your abs will turn you to the other sides and will lift you up. But right now, it might be just very not strong enough to pull up your head very high, and that's okay too. Every little bit of consistency will become a change that it will get higher and higher. Again, if you have osteoporosis, your head staying on the ground the whole time. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're going to bring that head down. And then we're going to go right to reverse crunches. And everybody can do this one. So we're going to bring both legs up to the ceiling, flex those feet, and then both arms to the ceiling, palms facing the shins. Excuse me. You're going to have palms facing the shins, and then you're going to bring your shins to your hands, but not your hands to your shins. If you want to challenge yourself, you can bring your arms a little bit more over your collarbone and try to really get those shins so that the butt lifts up off the ground a little bit. If you have to swing a lot, well, not hard a lot and fast, but if you have to do a little bit more swinging for momentum to first train this, that is fine also. Just be careful. And then otherwise, you're just going nice and methodically back and forth in full control. And you have to breathe. All that blood and lymphatic stuff's coming down your leg right now. So lots happening. Your blood pressure goes up a little bit. Your heart rate goes up just by the sheer mass of the leg coming up. So don't worry that this just naturally feels so hard. And then plus, we're working one of the weakest muscles in our body. You have 4, 3, 2, 1, and come on down. We're going to straighten out those legs, toes to the ceiling, knees to the ceiling. We're going to either, you have 3 options for your hands, turning your palms forward next to your hips and just opening up that chest. Level 2, arms straight out like a T, palms to the ceiling, tucking shoulders away from your neck. That was level 2. And then level 3, this is the ultimate goal that we're after. Palms facing each other, about 12 inches apart from each other, overhead. Well, if you were standing up, it'd be overhead. And it's going to land on the floor, tucking those shoulders. And this is your ultimate goal, is this one. This is the one where if you did this 1 to 3 minutes every single day, you would notice your back starts to align better, your hips align better, your knees straighten out better, especially keeping the knees and the toes forward. It just aligns everything. Your shoulder, all your shoulder issues kind of get worked out a little bit. I mean, minus, again, everything's always, unless if the bone hasn't changed, all the changes take place. Sometimes though, the bone changes and then we're working with a whole different shift at that point. So just, we're always working with what we have, nothing pushing through that's painful. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice tight abs. Bring those feet up and hands down to the side. We're going to go ahead and turn onto our hands and knees now. On our hands and knees, we're going to, you have a couple of options here. We're going to do the donkey kicks. We're going to do the side straight leg lift, and then we're going to do the fire hydrant. If you need a ball, a stability ball, you can have a stability ball that you put on your chest here. You can also come to your couch and just hold yourself on your couch to do this, or you can come down on your elbows to take the pain off of any wrist issues you may have. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and we're going to have your shoulders over your wrist, tuck your shoulders away from your ears, tighten your abdominals, shift your weight to the right leg, and you're going to bring the left heel up, and then you're going to flatten that hip, right? Don't let the hip hike up. You're going to drop it down, and then you're just going to lift the heel and down, lift the heel and down. Again, if this is too hard, you can go to a chair and hold on to, and just hold on to the chair and work on that. Honestly, you could even just stand up and do a donkey kick also. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg down, shifting the weight to the other side. Nice tight abs, bringing the heel up, drop the hip, tighten the abs, tuck the shoulders, nose to the floor, and kick the heel up and down. Now you'll notice in other exercise videos, the people tend to arc their back or they hitch up their hip. The problem is it's not getting the correct muscles we're after. If we want glute, we got to keep that back perfectly still. We can't move it at all. And that pelvic bone has to be pushed straight, square to the floor, or we're not going to hit those muscles that this exercise targets. Keeping those shoulders down, abs are tight. Keep breathing. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the knee down, and you're going to drop onto your hips and then stretch out your hands until you can get your head to the ground. You may not be able to, and that's okay. Just work on the hips dropping into the heels. You're just still keeping the shoulders not tense, still relaxed. And some people will barely be able to get their heads down and we'll just have to hold it. But we just want the hips to fold. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice tight abs. Bringing yourself back up. You're going to have your shoulders over the wrist. Tucking shoulders. Again, if it hurts your wrist, you're going to drop down to your elbows. We're going to bring out the right leg. I'm going to shift to the right leg. I'm going to straighten out my left leg, flex my foot, drop my hip, tighten my abs, and I'm going to lift, squeezing my butt. Again, I'm not arcing my back to do this. I'm using my butt muscles and my hamstring muscles to do this exercise. I keep my hips square to the floor, tap the toe, lift level with my torso. Tap the toe, lift level with the torso. Keep your abs nice and tight. Really feel that butt cheek working hard. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that knee in, and we're going to shift the weight to the left knee, straighten the right leg, flex that foot, drop the hip, tighten the abs, and we're going to lift, level to the torso, tap the toe. Lift, tap the toe. Again, tuck those shoulders, abs are engaged, and I'm not moving my back. I'm keeping everything nice and still so that my butt and hamstrings are having to be in control of this movement pattern. And you'll see on other videos where they might have them lifting their legs higher than their torso, but that makes their back work. So we want the knees nice and straight, toes nice and flexed, tight abs, tight abs. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this time we're going to come into threading the needle. So we're going to bring the right arm through the left, sticking that butt nice and high into the air with a nice twist. And you can have your arm where it's 90 degrees on there. You can have it straight out. Any one is going to be fine. Palm to the ceiling. Doing good? Okay. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice tight abs. Come on up. And then we're going to switch to the other arm, going left arm through the right, palm to the ceiling. You can have your hand 90 degrees or straight out, your choice. And this is just nice because with that butt in the air, it anchors the hips, and then your spine has this nice, perfect angled twist that is a spinal twist, and it just lets all those muscles and all those vertebrae stretch out a little bit to get more flexible, but to also call on the tension of the body so that it creates stronger bones, stronger ligaments and tendons. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice tight abs. Come on up, tucking shoulders. And then we're going to do the fire hydrant, keeping those knees 90 degrees. I'm going to flex the foot and then keeping the hip nice and still. I'm going to come straight out and then bring it back down. Come straight out and bring it back down. I like to keep this one more of a count. So I'm at 5 right now, and I'm just keeping my hip as still as possible, visualizing. If I had a teacup and saucer and the teacup was filled with tea, would it be splashing around and spilling all that tea? Last one right here. Come on down, and then we're going to shift the weight to the other leg. Nice tight abs, tucking shoulders. Again, you can always drop to your elbows, and we're going to come out and just really visualize that teacup. It's right on the lower back here. And are you staying nice and still? We're trying to train the hip bone, I'm sorry, hip muscles to lift the weight of that thigh. That's what we're aiming for. And if we tip our pelvic sideways, our back and leverage ends up taking over. And we don't want that because we want strong hips. We don't want just to use our leverage. Nice tucking shoulders. Abs are still tight. Last one right here. Okay, we're going to bring the right foot to the outside of the right hand into a half runner's lunge, tucking those shoulders. The goal is we want to get this back and that hip nice and flexible to each other. Just really take some of the tension and tightness out of the lower back so that we can do more things and get into lower squats, because the lower you can go on a squat, a body squat, the more healthier your hips are and the better your chances of a healthier life, longer life. I mean, we got funky diseases that can get us, but for health fitness, we want healthy hips equals usually a healthy life, a healthy body. In theory, at least. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, come on down. And then we're going to switch to the other side, bringing the left foot on the outside of the left hand. Keep those shoulders tucked. This is so good for our hips. Eventually we go into the full runner's lunge, which I can see you are doing, so good job. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then we get to come on down, and then we are done. I hope you enjoyed it.